I am in Pune, where thousands of people have hit the streets in order to protest against a riverfront development project which the government is planning to do at the cost of over 4,000 crore rupees. I am in the sacred grove of Ram Nadi or Ram River, where work for riverfront development has already begun and where people have come down in large numbers to protest against it. What are the issues, what is the opposition, and for how many years has this issue been raging? Let's take a look.
Painted faces, school children hold placards. The enthusiastic ones regale the protesters with songs in Baner during the Chipko movement. Thousands write a postcard to the Prime Minister seeking his intervention against the riverfront development project designed by renowned architect Bimal Patel, the man credited with the Central Vista Redevelopment Project, the Sabarmati riverfront, and who dismisses the protest as lack of information of the citizens.
First of all, let me clarify, this is not a protest. This is a padayatra or a march organized by citizens telling the authorities as well as the policy makers that the Pune citizens want the river revival. They are not against any project of reviving the rivers, but we are surely and definitely against the way it is getting implemented. We have beautiful natural spaces along the river banks. Citizens are looking for such natural spaces into the urban areas which are vanishing very fast being in the urban setup. Now this puts a lot of urban things in the context where the natural spaces are reducing. In this context, the river, along the river bank, when we have very rich riparian forests, when we have beautiful, lovely natural springs which are flowing towards the rivers, which are working as base flows of the rivers, then the grasslands into the riverbed which are dry during the 8 months, but they actually are taking in the heat, so they are reducing the temperature. This whole thing is going to get lost when we are already on the brinks of the climate crisis. Everybody is suffering from this brunt of climate change. So we don't need heat radiating surfaces. We need more sponges, we need more areas where the natural green canopy can be protected, restored, conserved, and how such more natural spaces can be actually created along the river bank rather than having some sort of a manicured embankments which people are not wanting. People are wanting such natural spaces, and Pune is one of the luckiest city which has beautiful rivers. All we need to do is remove the encroachment, remove the pollution, take out all the debris which is dumped into the river and allow the rivers to flow naturally, clean, beautifully. The rivers will take care of themselves. For last 4 to 5 years, we have been constantly after the authorities. We have been sending letters, we have been meeting them, we have actually created experts reports on the groundwater spring areas from both the banks, how many springs are there, what are the capacity of each and every spring which is there, because once the embankments are created, all these are going to be choked, and this is going to create the flooding into the city. The PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation, under the guidance or a collaborative work has happened where a detailed project report on Ram Nadi, which is meeting Mula River right where we are sitting, the eco-restoration model itself by Pune Municipal Corporation's Environment Department has been created, but it is not getting implemented. They are saying they don't have a budget. Means they don't have a budget for eco-restoration model, but they have a budget for 5,000 crores for the riverfront which is happening, which is not a very scientific way. We are again saying we are not against the riverfront. We are against the way it is getting implemented. We want it ecologically sensitive. We want it more natural spaces, and that can be possible and it can happen and it has to happen because it is citizens' demand.
So basically we have many reasons to oppose this project. One of the reasons, most important reasons, is that in this project they are going to reduce the width of the river by way of constructing concrete embankments right on the riverbed and then reclaiming the floodplains on both the banks. And any reduction in the width of the river will definitely lead to rise in flood levels in Pune city.
But Bimal Patel's company claims that the project will enhance the flood carrying capacity of the river as compared to the existing natural condition. In a detailed response to the Hindu's list of queries, it claims that the design has been vetted by experts, but it also skirts a critical question on the criticism by the environmentalists regarding construction within the blue line and the red line. The citizens and environmentalists say that consistent efforts have got no response from the civic body so far, but the PMC claims to have held public consultations and appointed tree experts to promote the cultivation of local species for the riverfront promenade, which will be constructed after chopping almost 11,000 trees as per the PMC's own account. They also claim to have planted over 5,000 new plants in lieu of the thousands of old trees which are being chopped. Bimal Patel's HCP Private Limited, on the other hand, claims to have retained most of the large native existing trees and integrated with the proposed embankment.
So I am here at this stretch with all of these people to raise awareness about the concretization of riverbanks. It's already started to happen. They're already creating a concrete river under this riverfront development project, cutting the trees and reducing biodiversity. So I hope that we can end this by bringing awareness through this Chipko March.
I'm Rukmini Karandikar and I'm here at the protest right now on Sunday. And we're here protesting to save the rivers and to save the trees over here which are going to be cut down to make the rivers more beautiful. But the rivers are beautiful as they are. So we really don't need to cut down the trees.
My name is Kabir Dhole and I'm here today to help hold or stop the riverfront development project which the government has installed for the rivers of Pune to make their banks straight and to make them more beautiful. But and to cut off the meanders. But in fact, cutting the meanders off will cause loss of biodiversity, cutting of trees, and may even increase floods.
At the banks of Ram River here in Pune, we can see that the trees have been marked by the authorities. Activists say these have been marked so that these trees can be felled.
The very important thing that today we should celebrate this particular moment because the thousands of people they have gathered here and they're showing the affection towards the nature. I believe this is a very fantastic unified force that we can witness. The very important thing that we are missing out on the point that any development that comes with a cost, but the thing which is where we are standing right now is a riparian zone. It is such that land, that area, that river actually flows from the river flow and the area between the riverbed up to the main road. This is the zone and this zone is nothing but a full of ecosystem. So one has to consider the importance of these riparian zones. Look at the people, those who have understood this concept, they are struggling to tell you that this riparian zone is very much important for us. See, we have to understand if we destroy nature, we will be able to live.
This is the same river whose existence was denied by the authorities till they were dragged to the court by the environmentalists. A cursory look shows the rise in river water level during monsoon, showcasing just how much water the river and its sacred grove hold during the swell. If you look to my left, that is the level of water we will see during the monsoons. So imagine the level of water that this river takes during the monsoon season.
See, the case was filed long back before 7 years in the National Green Tribunal, and National Green Tribunal had taken very serious stance when the corporation, irrigation department and the State Pollution Control Board, everyone said that there is no river like this. The bungalows illegally are still standing in the river bed. So river needs to be have free flow of water. We are throttling the rivers and river beds for our personal gains.
Environmentalist Sarang Yadwadkar has been fighting a long-drawn legal battle with the Pune Municipal Corporation for over 5 years now. Shuttling between the National Green Tribunal and the Bombay High Court, he claims he is up against glaring inconsistencies which will leave Pune more vulnerable to floods and to climate change. He has now challenged the fresh environmental clearance given for the project.
Because the environmental clearance itself is flawed. The project is designed by Bimal Patel of Ahmedabad. He is the same consultant for Sabarmati riverfront development and many other riverfront developments all over India. For him, this is a copy-paste job. So the very basic difference between European rivers and Indian rivers is that European rivers are perennial rivers. There is no specific rainy season over there. And our rivers are seasonal rivers. It was never communicated to the citizens that we are going to fell 22,000 trees. In fact, their first environmental clearance, their DPR said that we are not going to fell a single tree for this project. But now the revised DPR says that we are going to fell 22,000 trees. Officially, I don't know how many unofficially trees will be felled. So they have never communicated these facts to the public in their so-called public consultation meetings.
Of the 11 stretches of the riverfront development project, work has already begun on stretches 9, 10 and 11.
We are at Mula-Mutha river at Bund Garden and I am standing right here on top of a barrage. Now the height of this barrage is going to be increased by 2 meters. The PMC has proposed 4 such barrages across the riverfront development project. It says that these barrages will help retain water in order to make sure that boating and several activities can take place at Mula-Mutha river. This is one such barrage.
These barrages have come under criticism by the environmentalists.
But boating in what? Boating in sewage.
The PMC has come up with an innovative way to deal with the stench that emanates from the river, to plant fragrant flowering plants on the riverfront promenade.
PMC के अंडर जायका प्रोजेक्ट का सेल बनाया है. जायका प्रोजेक्ट के अंडर हमने 11 STP प्रपोज किए. 11 STP का वर्क अभी चालू है. तो उसके उसमें जो ब्लैक वाटर है, जो हमारा ग्रे वाटर आता, तो वो फिल्टर होने वाला है. उसमें वो फिल्टर करके फिर हम रिवर में छोड़ने वाले हैं. जो कैचमेंट एरिया है जहाँ से हमारा ग्रे वाटर जनरेट होता है, तो वहाँ से लाइंस, ड्रेनेज की लाइंस आती है STP तक. STP में वो लाइंस आने के बाद वो वाटर STP में मर्ज किया जाता है और वहाँ से फिल्टर करके फिर रिवर में छोड़ दिया जाता है.
After the barrages are constructed, the PMC claims that at least till the riprap region, which is the area right behind me where you can see the stones which have been put in net and in mesh, the water level, they say, will rise half or over half level of that riprap region, thereby giving a fuller look.
Prominent environmentalists and activists have come out in support of Punekars against the project.
People's wishes and their choice needs to be conveyed to the people who make policies, because I understand they are trying to do things for people, but if people are not interested in more concrete malls and concrete shopping malls and so on, they are more interested in water and air to breathe, then the authorities, the powers should consider this. In a democratic country, people's voice is the supreme. Anything sacred should be very sensitive, as we see mosques are, temples are. Similarly, sacred groves of trees are also as sacred as any place of worship. So we must either find a way out, alternative ways where we don't have to cut the trees and do some middle path. Democracy is all about people's vote. People have voted with their feet by walking in the march into this forest, and this vote must have value.
The riverfront development project is being done at a cost of over 4,700 crore rupees. There are stretches where the dumper trucks, the JCBs are in place and work has begun in order to create level to give access to people. This is how the PMC says the promenade is going to look like, with access given to people to their river fronts. What will happen to the stench of the river, what will happen to the cleanliness aspect is something that will be addressed by another project and not by this project. Questions continue to be raised by several environmentalists, by citizens groups, even as the PMC goes ahead with its work after a renewed clearance by the Environment Department.